Hi there, my name is Shannon, and I'm Willamette Week's Music and Visual Arts Editor. I'm here today with Carlos Kalmar, who is the music director for Oregon Symphony, and he's had that position. He's been with the Symphony for almost 20 years now. Carlos, how's it going today?
It's going very well. Glad to be here.
So I imagine it's been kind of a whirlwind year for you. Just to kind of recap, at the beginning of the year, you announced that you're stepping down as the symphony's music director. Then the pandemic happened, and all the in-person shows, including your farewell show, have now been either canceled or postponed. Now, on a much more positive note, you and the Oregon Symphony received your third Grammy nomination for the second installment of Aspects of America. When you got the news about the Grammy nomination, where were you? What were you doing? What was your reaction?
Well, first of all, of course, I was home uh, because I hope very much that I am, for the most part, a very good citizen, meaning I take care of my family. I try not to meet anybody, and I am maybe on Zoom more often than ever, which is something that we are all doing. I was actually shocked because this one I did not expect. You know, sometimes you do recordings and you think, that one is really stunning and interesting and should get a nomination for whatever reason you think. And it's not that I think this won the Aspects of America Pulitzer edition is worth less. It's just I was so convinced that Aspects of America #1 should be actually on the Grammy list, and it wasn't. And so I was actually getting up in the morning and received a message via Facebook. A friend of mine just congratulated, and I thought, like, what's up? So it was the Grammy nominations, and I must say that all in all, it came at a time when it was very, very necessary for all of us, for the institution as such, for me personally, I'm sure for every single musician of the Oregon Symphony, because you can imagine that this time is not very easy for anybody who is in the arts, because our ability to actually do what we are used to do the entire year is pretty much zero. Concerts don't happen, and they won't happen probably until September 2021. And you just deal with it, and it's an interesting time, definitely. And then all of a sudden you get nominated for the pretty much biggest award there is in classical music as far as CDs are concerned, and you think like, oh, this is the right thing at the right time. And I'm of course very, very happy about it, and I'm very proud of the musicians of the Oregon Symphony who did so tremendously well in this recording.
So yeah, what has it been like watching all these shows in the final season? The first half get canceled, and now the second half get canceled too, when you've been with this orchestra forever, and now you're stepping down.
Well, as you can imagine, this is not the happiest time for anybody. So on the artistic side, of course, there are two aspects. On one side, there is the aspect of a certain sadness, because we thought about the last season that I would conduct as a music director long and hard, and came up with wonderful solution in order to celebrate such a great partnership. That's one side. But the other aspect is, is the creativity of the team at the Oregon Symphony, plus the creativity of single musicians who simply went out and did stuff on their own, because that is something that they want to do and they can.
What have you been doing now that you're not leading an orchestra multiple nights a week?
Well, I've been doing many things. Mostly, I've been writing a tiny bit of music, but just to see how does it feel. And then I looked at it and I thought, well, that is really music that I don't want anybody to hear. And so it went. But hey, maybe I revisit it because I don't know, maybe something there to say. One little advantage of these times when, as a musician, I'm not allowed to work as much as I was before, is I spent a lot of time with my family, mainly with my two boys. And that is wonderful. You just catch up. And when you are, of course, in my profession, you spend a lot of time working, and you also spend a lot of time traveling. And I used this time very wisely to just spend time with the boys, because it's a time that it will never come back in history. I mean, children grow up very fast. And it's a wonderful thing that I can actually be around them as much as I've been.
This might be another question that you just can't possibly answer at this point, but the Organ Symphony has announced that they're going to do something to make up for the fact that your final show with the symphony was canceled. Is there anything that you know about what that's going to look like at this point?
I, for now, think I will be here for a week, maybe in the next season. But beyond that, yeah, and yeah, there will be celebrations. But I mean, the reality for me is that I adore the idea of celebrating with the board. I like the idea of celebrating with musicians, etc. But what I really want to do, in terms of, if you want to celebrate, is something really wonderful together with the audience, because I always think that this this story of how this orchestra came to be what it is right now, which is a prime time ensemble, is a celebration of the hard work of the institution, the office, the musicians, myself, the audience, the donors. I mean, it's a large group of people. So I think everybody should be included in something that I call a really wonderful celebration, and we'll find a way.
All right. Well, those are all of my questions, unless you have anything that you would like to add or ask or clarify.
No, I'm really happy to be here, and I'm looking forward, whenever that is. I'm really looking forward to the fact that the way things look, the Oregon Symphony will be back on the podium probably in September 2021. And I will be, as Arnold Schwarzenegger said, I will be back.